Looks like we have two pretty good runners on our hands, and this should be a really close match as we're off.
Well, one of them is off while one of them had to take a little accidental turn to the password screen. But anyway, right now, like I said, we got Kuumba and Squidman, probably two of the more well-known randomizer runners, at least in the community. Both of them going to pretty separate stages right now, and Kuumba's not feeling very well as we got some immune sniper Joe mechs in Metal Man stage, while Squidman is doing one of the common starting points to Flashman.
Yeah, I don't think Kuumba, I guess, tried to get a little tricky and pick Metal Man to start, but this isn't going to work out very well. I think he's already used the E-Tank he picked up early on, and he's about to get bodied again by Joe Armor. Which does... Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you can see that he lost about a fifth of his life bar by taking a single hit from the Sniper Joe riding armors. As we have Squidman working his way onto the first E-Tank, well, the first and only E-Tank in the stage he's in.
Yeah, Metal is usually one of Kuumba's more notable starting routes. A little unconventional from the rest of the guys that either does Flash or Quick first. Speaking of Flash, we're about to see who goes up in Flash Room right now, and it's Bubble Man. Bubble Man not really a hard boss, and it looks like he's particularly... well, he's really mobile.
Bubble isn't a hard boss, but he can certainly be annoying. As you saw, Bubble Man just said, alright, well, I'm just going to hang out right over top of Mega Man. So you have to jump up and take a hit to, basically trade shots as Kuumba's run into Flashman at the end of the Metal Man stage.
And it seems like we found an item 1 in Flash stage, so we already got ourselves a pretty notable situation for Squidman, even though he had a slight menu mishap going to the password. So we're about to see what Kuumba gets from going through Metal stage, which is item 3. So both stages yielding some pretty good items at the beginning of their runs.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fortunate for both of the runners. I think at this point, I would hope that our item 2 is not in Heatman stage. I think that would make that stage a little more difficult than either of the runners would like it to be. As Kuumba, oh my, again with the Sniper Joe riding armors at the beginning of Woodman stage.
Yeah, Sniper Joe's is just one of the most annoying enemies to have that are immune to just any given weakness. And if it's a buster weakness, that's just adding salt to the wounds. Meanwhile, Squidman's going through Quickman stage, pretty much going through pretty smoothly so far, no major issues. He's on his way to Quick Arena in a little bit as we speak right now, as our tin cans, our blockies are actually one shot, but we got immune fans.
Oh, that could definitely be a problem elsewhere, where there's a couple pits and the fan guys sitting on the end of them. Oh no.
Kuumba checking the next screen, making sure there are no fans in that screen. Wow. We got a slight dumb crash on Squidman's Quick Room.
Ooh, interesting. Kuumba pulling off a zip, and Squidman's found a victory in his second boss room here.
Kuumba doing the Buster version of the good wood, performing successfully. It's kind of taken from Mega Man 1 physics. If you're able to press down and shoot at the same time, you're able to have Mega Man get at a little bit higher pixel height, where you can just barely squeeze through the ceilings. And if you're able to turn yourself to the left at that time, you'll be able to continue on with the good wood. It's easier with crit boomerangs, but it shows that Buster is the viable option as well, as Kuumba does successfully get the zip and is fighting Quickman in Wood Room with a lot of boomerangs.
Now, thankfully, Quickman decided to go down fairly quickly. Pun intended. Har har. But Kuumba still has at least one energy tank in reserve. And Squidman looks to be pulling off the zip in the Bubble Man stage.
Meanwhile, Kuumba finds item 2 in Woodman stage, so he going straight to heat with item 3 and item 2 in tow. So he can do just pretty much the major necessary zips, except for the item 1, which he doesn't have, which would have been good for this stage as well if it was good. If it was a good item 1, because you're able to do exclusive zips that you would normally not be able to do, since in vanilla he would normally lock item 1. Meanwhile, Squidman is going to Bubble Room, and we're about to find out who we got in that room. Seems like we're gonna have some wet wood in Squidman's future. Taking a bit of a beating, but Squidman's able to clear the Woodman fight, while Kuumba successfully does the item 3 zip, the vanilla zip that's in Heatman stage, and has item 2 to fly over the Yoku block section. This is just to know the placements of where the items are completely random. You don't know where they are, as you have seen. So it was just really fortunate that Kuumba was able to find items 1 and 3 very quickly. Meanwhile, Squidman is getting the unfortunate news that Kuumba already learned so far, and dealing with those terrible, terrible Joe-Max.
Well, Squidman seems to have the advantage of knowing that Leaf Shield is effective against the riding armor. Looks like Kuumba might be in a little trouble against Heatman. Oh no, he took a death. Oh.
Heatman with the rapid fire, literally moving all over the place and just crashing on Kuumba, causing the death. Really unfortunate, but he's going right back on it and seems to have found a weakness in Quick Boomerang.
And he's still got to be careful. Heatman seems to be doing a lot of damage. And Kuumba, I think, as well as I did, got caught by surprise with how much damage he was taking. I thought he was safe and could have taken another hit and then E-tanked if he needed it. But unfortunately, he took that death there. And now, well, he's a little bit behind, but Squidman doesn't seem to be going for the zip that Kuumba pulled off in the Woodman stage.
Well, Kuumba's much more likely to try to perform those particular slightly higher level zips. Kuumba is one of the premier Mega Man 2 ROM hack runners, so he knows a thing or two about doing zips, not only with the vanilla style items, but with some really crazy form items as well. So Kuumba doing these kinds of zips is really not much of a shock at all.
Oh no, it's just a matter of trying to see where the runners are going to end up compared to each other, and Kuumba is really making short work of the Quickman stage, while Squidman is going through this latter half of the Woodman stage.
Having to deal with those molds which look to be very durable, Kuumba didn't have to even worry about that at all, since he zipped through the remainder of Woodman stage. And now he gets to face Quickman, while Kuumba's closing in on our slightly dumb crash.
Ooh, I think Squidman found Leaf Shield to be pretty good against Quickman, but oh, he does have a couple energy tanks, so he's going to use one here instead of trading a death. And Squidman's going to make it through. So Squidman will have 4 bosses complete now. Kuumba is about to finish his 4th boss. And now it'll be a matter of who can execute better, with Kuumba having some of the quicker stages left. Haha, I did it again, because he's got Quickman stage left.
I'm not even gonna mention it. Keep going. Well, anyway, Kuumba discovering our dumb crash, who's not quite as dumb, but still likes to run back and forth. And Item 1 is not really good on Squidman's end.
Well, just don't expect me to say too much. You know I love this music, so I'm just gonna rock out for a little bit here.
Well, every dumb crash has his day. Anyway, Kuumba successfully defeats Crashman and is about to go to his next stage, while Squidman is struggling with the Joes that Kuumba already dealt with earlier.
Well, Squidman's doing a lot better in that he's found the Leaf Shield to be an effective deterrent against Sniper Joe riding armors.
Well, that still doesn't change the fact that there are just a whole bunch of them lined up in his way, and just pretty much just a slog to go through. So, even with the slight advantage, it was probably something I know Squidman just doesn't really appreciate.
And also, Squidman has the benefit of Item 2 here, where, we get sniped out of there by a cannonade there. But it looks like he'll be able to make the jump. And Kuumba did stop for the E-Tank where Squidman has not. So this is probably going to be pretty close to a wash here, with Squidman maintaining a very small lead through the 5th stage.
Found out Crashman is around looking for... I think he was probably looking for metal so he can manipulate Flashman on the walls, but just opts to go with Buster. And got flashed to death. Yeah, not a particularly good thing to get caught in Flashman's Time Stopper while you're actually in his hitbox. That's almost basically 8 hits of damage, getting hit twice. Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I feel Squidman's pain. I was sitting there and I'm going, oh, start, I want to use that E-Tank. Use the E-Tank, use the E-Tank. And it just didn't happen, which is such a shame. But Squidman, still with that death, having a very slight lead now over Kuumba, as they both have 5 Robot Masters down. And Squidman finds the Item 3, and he's off to Heatman stage. Or excuse me, I may have miscounted. It might be 4.
Had to make sure all the tracker stuff was set up properly. Meanwhile, it looks like Squidman and Kuumba were... They're about to do probably 2 of the more dangerous stages, but at this point, well, we saw Heatman already, but this is the first time we've seen Airman, and it looks like we got birds and space monkeys.
That is very fortunate with the space monkeys, because there's nothing stopping them from just noping on out of the stage, and you really only have to worry about the bird droppings in the first part of the stage. Oh no, more Sniper Joes and some squid in the oh no, part 2 we see our fan fiends.
Welcome to Vanilla Air, kinda sorta.
Yeah, I'm... Oh, it's such a shame. But it seems Kuumba's found the Metal Blade to be effective deterrence. Oh no, he's fallen, and he won't get up. Oh, Kuumba taking a death. I think he was expecting to get blown back by a fan guy, and just fell.
I think he might have just had a button misinput. It looked like he just walked off. So I'm thinking it was just a button error, and he just unfortunately fell. While Squidman is like we saw earlier, dealing with some rapid fire, and is able to come out alive this time around.
Yeah, Squidman thankfully did not get bodied by Heatman as often as Kuumba did, and this is really just a race of execution, and so far, the execution seems to be on Squidman's side here. Kuumba's taken a couple unfortunate deaths.
Well, I think Kuma's deaths are offsetting Squidman's slight initial menuing, going to the password in the beginning, taking a bird to the face, trying to get on the item, item 2, but it seemed like now he's taking a monkey to the face. So much for the free item 2 ride.
Yeah, now Squidman did have at least half of it right, because he was facing to the left, which means he knew the birds were there, and if you face to the left, the birds will always come from the side of the screen you're facing toward. So if you face to the left, the birds will spawn to the left. If you face to the right, the birds will spawn to the right.
Kuumba with arm 2 in hand doing a quick bubble fly with some orange water, and I'm gonna say some red water in a little bit. In the meanwhile, Squidman is about to face his own fan nightmare, but instead of Metal Blaze, he's going for the Leaf Shield this time around, and it's just as effective.
Wow. Yeah, Leaf Shield seems to be our Solves-All tool today. Looks like he didn't have enough item energy, and Squidman switched over to Quick Boomerang to finish off the Airman stage.
Kuumba doing our pause buffering strats to get our zip over here. Fortunately, making it cleanly.
Now, I don't recall... Oh, I guess we're just gonna Pure 6 Brawl with Airman and just buster him down.
Yep, Vanilla Air in Vanilla Air Room. Good job in game. Meanwhile, Kuumba's not too far away from his bubble room, where he's about to fight his next boss.
Yeah, I think I'll have to have a word with whoever made this seed to make sure they remind them to randomize the bosses. It is a randomizer after all, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't help a few bumps and scrapes along the way, a few vanilla-ness within the chocolate layers.
Well, it looks like Kuumba's searching for some items here. The Crash Bomb seems to be doing work at close range.
Meanwhile, Squidman got some rather annoying news in the first screen of Crash, as we got some frogs in that screen. He's gonna try... Nope. I don't think...
Oh, no.
So he's gonna have to deal with the elevator portion of Crashman stage. And one of the things that you'll notice, if you know the first enemies in the first screen of Crash, you're gonna know what's in the next 3 sets of rooms. And now we're gonna have ourselves a lot of frogs with all the lag in the world.
Well, let's see if Squidman can get through this. Oh, what a nightmare. Looks like he's just going to use item 1 and try to nope out of the second screen here. Kuumba is almost certainly going to try a zip here with item 1, but I think he's going to get a little bad news before he can actually get this. Oh, he almost had it.
Yeah, it's possible to do that particular item 1 zip with that kind of item 1, but it's not lasting long enough for now.
He got it.
But I think he might be in slight trouble. There he goes. If he would have messed up that jump, he would have died. But the fortunate thing is, Kuumba's now not gonna have to worry about the frogs in the moving platform area. But he's still running quite a bit behind Squidman, but this will catch him up a little bit.
Yeah, that's you know, part of it's risk-reward. I mean, Kuumba wasted a good 5 seconds trying to pull that zip off, if not more. And Squidman just immediately noped on out of it when he checked the item 1. I think, you know, the time that Kuumba gained on the zip was almost lost just the same by trying so hard to get that zip to work.
That's true. It may actually be the case, but dealing with the lag frogs in the moving platform area takes so long. You can possibly say that between Kuumba trying to do the item 1 zipping and Squidman dealing with the lag frogs, that it pretty much balance each other out.
Yeah, that's I think pretty safe to say right now, because Squidman right now seems to have maintained his lead, and Kuumba's not going to opt for the E-Tank. Squidman did.
Saving a little bit of time for going that E-Tank, but that could come back to bite Kuumba if things in the Wily stages that are upcoming are going to be really nasty. Speaking of which, with Squidman going to Wily stages, it's our favorite time of the moment. So it's time to guess the color of that dragon. So as you can see, the colors are randomized throughout the randomizer, and the dragon is no different. So chat, you know what to do. Guess that color. If you want extra credit, you can guess the weakness as well. Frico, you know what to do. Start us off.
Oh boy. I am gonna go with the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I believe it will be... I'm gonna go with the Bubble Shot. And just for comparison real quick, it was 21:15 when Squidman had Wily pop up, and it's 22 even, so it looks like there's about 45 seconds between our runners right now.
And Squidman just literally face-tanking everything, hitting the Chanky Makers and the Squirms and all that shenanigans. But anyway, my color is going to be one that's tried and true. I still got to hope for my monochrome.
Oh, and a riding armor. Oh, so sick. This seed is so bad.
I'm going to go with Leaf Weakness this time around.
Well, with how useful Leaf Shield's been, it would not shock me if the dragon's going to be weak to that as well. Ooh, Squidman almost realized a little too late that that last third item 1 was not close enough to the ladder.
Kuumba trying to utilize item 1 to get to the top of the ladder, forgetting that the item 1 is really not that good. Doing some minor zipping, trying to move to the areas faster. Little time saves, but he still got a little ways to go to get the Squidman, who's dealing with a slightly green dragon.
Well, so far so good. I'm batting 0% here. And the bubble fails me again. Oh, what a shame. Ooh. Whatever that was is working.
That is Leaf Shield. I am good with my weapons, thank you. Don't sigh too much. You get another chance. But not everyone can be weapon guessing masters like I.
Yeah, I know. I guess we all can't be as good as you, but you know, right now Squidman's ahead, and hopefully he's going to stay ahead as he spawns in at 24:17, and it looks like he's going to switch to an item. Oh, it looks like the air shooter's doing some work on the dragon as well. And it's
the Mega Dragon is weak to two weapons. The Buster being a potential third, but the fact that the Buster can be a weakness for any Wily boss, as far as the randomizer goes, is random. Obviously enough. I'm speaking obvious, but I'm just telling how it is.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, I don't think either of the runners know what the crash walls are vulnerable to. It looks like crash bombs not working. Metal blade. That's a negative. Heat shot. No.
No, he went for air first. He's skipping heat. It looked like we found that it is bubble weakness. That is kind of annoying. For trying to destroy walls, bubble is just one of the most tedious to try to destroy walls with. And finding that out, probably not feeling Squidman probably not feeling too happy about this.
I think if I'm a runner at this point, I'm going... I really hope Metal Blade or the Leaf Shield's going to help me for the Boo Beam turrets more so than... Oh, Squidman's out of item 3. He won't be able to make that jump. He's got to farm for item energy.
And this gives Kuumba the chance to take back the lead. And pretty much has his way to Pico Pico, and about to find out what the weakness for Pico Pico is going to be. Oh, I feel for Squidman right now, though.
Oh, so unfortunate to get... Ugh. I hate to see something like that happen, but Kuumba's catching a break here with the Busters being Picotan's... Well, it looks like primary weakness, because it looks like it's only taken 1, maybe 2 shots, so...
Yeah, that's a pretty strong weakness, and like we said, there was actually a chance that it was not going to be weak to the Buster, so this was really fortunate in this particular situation. While Squidman is about to begin his Pico fight and find out the good news as well. Yep, 2 shots for Buster, pretty strong weakness.
Oh, but you see just the small little things that can happen that, you know, turn a 45-second advantage into Kuumba spawning in at 27:20 into the next Wily stage, and Squidman, you know, tick-tock as, you know, his disadvantage here grows bigger and bigger. Looks like lost over a minute at this point trying to farm for that 1 item energy drop, just so we could get the number 3 item and get up that wall.
Meanwhile, Kuumba is going through Wily 3, which was fortunate enough not to have any troll enemies, and just breezed on through. Really short stage, but can really be a nuisance with specific enemies. But Kuumba's about to face Guts Tank with a really clean Wily 3. Squidman following suit, not that far behind, but got to be feeling the pressure after the shenanigans in Wily 2, as Kuumba finds another Buster Weak Wily boss.
The seeds where, you know, another runner, believe Kama Senin is his name. He uses Buster-only strategies, and I think he would approve of this stage, but then...
He'd probably approve of the stage, but he wouldn't approve of the remaining state, the 8 robot matches before it.
Yeah, that's very true. And it looks like Squidman's not going to bother item hunting either, as he's going to check and see that the Buster is good, and Gutsdozer is just going to get absolutely dumpstered by both of our runners in short fashion. There's a question in chat. Are the weakness chances equally distributed? You would be able to answer that a little better than I could.
Honestly, I probably would have a hard time answering that as well. I'm not sure about the true percentages of a given weakness for a given boss. I would say that pretty much any and all bosses are at least weak to to one weapon very, very strongly, with maybe a couple being soft weak, or maybe have, let's see, maybe I'll probably say there are probably about a couple of weapons that may deal high damage for 2 bosses, but that's really not common, and mostly common for atomic fire. Otherwise, I would probably say for the most part, the weaknesses are distributed pretty decently. I will say this, just since we're talking about it anyway, no bosses in the Wily stages will be weak to Flash, and 1 Robot Master will only be weak to Flash. In the meanwhile, Kuumba's trying to do the Wily 4 Gate Crash Zip, and does this successfully. So he saved himself quite a bit of time, and also got himself an extended lead, because I'm pretty sure Squidman is not going to go for it.
Well, I think it's a matter of Squidman's going to damage boost in that stage, where Kuumba actually just pause buffered to be able to essentially throw himself as a curveball around the obstacle. And Squidman's going to lose a little bit of time here, but also pick up a power-up.
It seems like that air shooter is our weakness for the boo beams, so Kuumba's just slowly finishing the job, but he's got 1 wall to destroy with Bubble. And yeah, Bubble is such a bad wall weakness.
Yeah, Squidman's checking Metal Blade and Leaf Shield so that he doesn't have to destroy the crash walls, and neither were effective, unfortunately. And now Squidman's going to set about probably destroying all of the walls. And now the hunt for the weakness for the turrets begins for Squidman. And he finds the air shooter very quickly.
Meanwhile, Kuumba's going in Wily 5 in our refights. So we're gonna see if Kuumba is gonna be digging for weaknesses, or he's just gonna be sticking with Buster for a majority of them. Meanwhile, Squidman is still not too far behind. Kuumba is on his 2nd robot on the refights, and Squidman is just starting. So this is still amazingly close.
Yeah, this could come down to who finds the weakness first for, you know, either the Wily machine or the alien at the end of this all, because Squidman knows a couple of the weaknesses and used one. As Kuumba's on number 4, Squidman's on number 2 right now for Robot Masters. Ooh. Metal Man being a little difficult for Squidman here.
Just a little caveat about what's going on here. As you notice, the music here, well, there's a lot of things to talk about the music, but for Wily 5 in particular, you notice that the music is continuous. Duckfist, the creator of this randomizer, has made it such that the music in the refights continuously plays whether you enter or exit a boss room, in comparison to having the boss music come in and out with the Wily 3-4 music. You just get constant music throughout the entire refights, which was something Duckfist picked up from playing a few ROM hacks that did the same thing. Not only that, but Wily 5 also has its own unique music as a result. Speaking of which, the music used comes from a variety of sources. Of course, you got some from Mega Man 2, but you also got some from Mega Man 1, Bionic Commando, Legendary Wings, and a handful of ROM hacks from Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 1. So there's a lot of variety in possible music choices. What you're hearing right now is Final Fantasy IV, the theme of the Red Wings. Meanwhile, Kuumba just finished his refights and finds a Buster Weak machine.
Oh, this is going to come down to the alien then, because Kuumba's going to be, finishing up, and Squidman won't be far behind, because he'll find the same thing in Buster Weak machine.
Kuumba wisely decided to get the energy so he has something for the alien, but takes quite a beating. And oh boy, we got us as a situation.
This is literally about a second or two apart as both runners are heading into what I like to call victory road here. This could be decided by if one runner decides to fall to the left as opposed to the right. And it looks like both are going to the right. Hopefully they have enough item energy for their weapons to, wow. This is going to be so close.
It's all going to depend on who finds the weakness first, especially if it winds up being Buster. If Buster is it's going to depend on mashing. Well, we're going to forget about colors right now. Right now, we're going to find out who's going to win this really, really tight match 1 race of 3. Is it going to be Kuumba or is it going to be Squidman? We're about to find out right now. And the dig begins. Squidman decided to go to the second page to find the weakness. And
he found it!
The gamble of the second page, putting Squidman right back on the mark. Just stealing it for Kuumba.
Squidman with an official SRL time of 36 minutes, 21 seconds. I don't know if he stole game 1 or not, but wow. Nonetheless, he's our winner in game 1. Kuumba with an official SRL time of 36 minutes, 33 seconds. We literally had 12 seconds between our runners there. Wow.
And all it took was just one gamble of the second page. If Squidman did not find the weakness on that page, it would have been Kuumba's game. No questions asked.
Yeah, absolutely. Squidman rolled the dice, and he came up with a 7 there. Wow. Kuumba, I mean, still, I can't fault Kuumba for anything he did. You know, maybe a little bit of execution early on, but, you know, at the end of the day, that it was either runner could have stolen that first game of this match. Wow.
And this is considering that Squidman had some menuing issues at the very beginning, going to the password screen rather than straight to the stage select. Kuumba also had a lot of unfortunate deaths throughout his run, not to mention his starting route was just really unfortunate with the immune Sniper Joe Max that really just gave him quite the beating.
Yeah, just by looking back at game 1 and the things you pointed out, among a couple others, I just get more and more excited for game 2 and how close this could all be. Because, you know, Kuumba definitely had a couple things that he could clean up and run a lot quicker. And you could say the same thing for Squidman going into game 2. I mean, he threw away almost 10 seconds by going into the password screen.
And you just said the magic words in my head. This is just game 1. Remember, this is a best of 3. If the remaining 2 races, especially if Kuumba wins race 2, and it's gonna be of this caliber, we got ourselves one for the age. We literally got potentially one for the ages.
And there's a question in chat: will game 2 be happening today? Yes, it will. LV Creed is distributing new seeds as we speak to both of the runners, and probably in around 2-3 minutes, maybe 5, I don't know. Maybe one of them has to run off and, you know, use the facilities or whatever. But
speaking of which, I probably should be getting on that, shouldn't I? I was so focused on the ending of the match, I almost forgot to get that one prepared.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say something. Make sure, you know, everything...
Keep me on my toes.
Yeah. But, wow, you know, I need a second or two to actually, you know, calm down myself. But, just to point it out, as the credits roll, you actually see what the robot masters and the Wily bosses are weak to, it shows a graph because it is randomized from race to race and game to game within a race of 3 games. You could have completely different strategies for the Wily bosses. So everything you learned in Game 1, you could probably throw it out the window for Game 2 when it comes to, seeing how we have the runners approach at least the Wily stages.
Seed is up, but we don't have another channel ready yet. I'm getting our next channel ready for our next race, so it's gonna be a little bit before we get our next race up. But like I said, it'll be worth the wait. It'll be worth the wait to make sure that things get as good as it was just a few moments ago. So yeah, give us a little bit while we get things set up. So take this moment to grab a bite to eat, get a quick snack. Feel free to ask us some questions, or at least ask me some questions about how the randomizer works, and I'll try to answer them while we have this little break time.
Yeah, I know nothing. And yeah, just to let you know, the randomizer does a few back-end things as well. As you can see, it's showing the scroll for Star Wars, and you'll have a random company make the game. I think it's St. Kitts and Nevis that this particular randomizer seed is for use in. That country is randomized. I think we discussed the music before, but I'll bring it up again since it's also randomized. You won't get the standard Mega Man 2 musical score. Well, you could, but you'll get a lot of other games included as well. All of the bosses hopefully get randomized into new stages. So what you saw in the first game, if you were able to see it, you will hopefully not see the same thing in Game 2.
Just making sure that the SRL stuff is all checked out right now. We're still in the process of getting our next race going, so just continue to bear with us for a little bit. We're almost ready.
Now here's one for you, Creed. Question in the chat: how do you pick the seeds?
All right, so since I was given the role of seed distributor, one of the things we need to do, for the most part, we pick a random seed from the actual generator itself. So that part is easy, but we do some minor vetting mostly for Bubble Man stage, because there's actually a small little issue with it. Well, if you listen to what I'm about to say, it's not going to sound so little. But the thing is, there's a situation in which lag can have a potential in Bubble Man's room where you can actually fall down through the floor after beating a Robot Master and dying. And to make matters worse, the after effect is, while it does count as the Robot Master being beaten, there's also the unfortunate consequence that as soon as you get to a next stage, you're pretty much soft locked, in that you respawn at the bottom of the screen where you pretty much just infinitely die. So where vetting sees, particularly in Bubble Man stage, so that situation is less frequent. It seems to happen a lot with Crashman, but when Crashman is in the bubble room. So we specifically look for Crashman in the room and do not give seeds that have Crashman in that room. So that way, hopefully we have limited chances of having any major glitches that pretty much just screws our runners over. But that doesn't change the fact that the glitches in the vanilla game can be present, like delay scrolls where you try to fall down through a ladder to the next screen and the screen doesn't hold and you just fall to your death. Vanilla glitches like that, those are hard to vet out since those are vanilla. We're only trying to vet seeds that strictly affect how the randomizer is played. So it's just really we just mostly just try to avoid that particular situation. And you saw what Daggett says. The chance of recovery is there, but just so that it doesn't happen at all, we just make sure that it doesn't have. We just vet seeds that have Crashman in Bubble Room. A little beefy, but I hope that explains how we go through seeds. Vigo, that's your cue to actually work with me here. Where's my boy? Where is my boy? Well, as soon as Frico returns, we're still waiting for our second racer to ready up. We got one ready right now. We're just waiting for our next runner to ready up. So continue to be patient with us. We should be having match 2 very, very shortly.
I was kind of hoping that conversation would go a little bit longer than it did. You explained how you did the randomizer way too quickly. I was kind of hoping to run off and nobody would even know I was gone.
Well, too bad. Don't assume everything.
You guys caught me. I'm so busted.
Well, of course, while we're still waiting for our racers to continue to ready up, is there anything else that anyone wants to ask while we're still waiting?
Do we have to water the seeds? Absolutely not. Otherwise, the runners would not be able to run through the seeds if we allow them to develop too far.
I'll probably say we can water them as good as we can. Well, it seems like everyone seems to be readied up. So probably in a few moments we're gonna be ready to go with match 2. Also in the chat, Coca Pepsi, the answer is yes. I have no loyalties, so I'm gonna be the enemy of both sides.
I say none of the above. I'm not a soda person. Just saying.
But anyway, looks like we're about ready to go here. So I'm gonna start to unleash the floodgates, as I would say. The quiet and the silence before the storm.
Oh yeah, I'm just waiting to see a countdown start in the SRL room. I think while that's gonna start off in the near future, there's actually gonna be a second match going on very soon. I believe it starts at 8 o'clock.
Yes, it's gonna be about 8. It's gonna be in 8 minutes actually, if everything's timed correctly.
Yeah, very true. Do you know who it is? I believe it's Mega Kyle and someone else. I can't remember who exactly it is off the top of my head. I guess I can sneak over to the bracket real quick and take a look.